Hi, I'm Razless, hope you're fabulous and I hope your January is going amazing, and this is for another RazDaz January bonanza. And this video is going to be about the whole thing of the blank canvas, and it made me think about it because I was watching a documentary on Tracy Emin, and you either love that artist or you hate her, I know, but I still really like her. And going back to the whole movement, what happened, the shock movement, and with her and Damien Hirst and Sarah Lucas and that kind of thing. And I do think that was a big movement, what happened in art, and I do think that she was a major part of it with the whole bed installation and all that kind of stuff. But anyhow, let's move on. And saying about how with a blank canvas it's always difficult, or anything, be it a sculpture form or any creative thing that you're doing. It doesn't have to, it can be anything, a drawing, sculpture, jewellery, just something where there is a blank thing that you have to start from is always a major place to start, because it's difficult to think, how am I going to turn this into something? How am I going to transform this nothingness into whatever you're making? And that's when I think, if you're not arty or visually able to think that way, people find it difficult, because that's when your brain kind of forms it all ready before you even made it onto a rough sketch page or a little 3D sculpture, really. Because to get from that stage to the finished stage is a learning curve in itself. But I do find it really difficult when you start off on something and it's completely different, and it might form into something else. But sometimes you can go with that, but of course if you want it to look like something right at the end, it has to look perfect to how that's meant to be, of course. But first of all, the blank sculpture and the blank canvas is difficult to start with because it's nothingness, and you have to kind of, like anything I suppose in life, you have to throw yourself out there to kind of make it, because if you don't jump out there and start doing something, it's not going to happen, because no one's going to come along and do it for you, because you're the one who's creating it, if that makes sense. It'd be cool if you've had any projects where you've had to stop and step back and think, oh wow, it's quite a lot to take on here, and the whole kind of blank canvas effect, I guess, what comes over you, and you're like, there's so much, what do I do, where do I start, and all that jazz. And it'd be cool to hear what you think. Do put in the comment box and share your views on everything, and let me know if there's been any huge projects that you've taken on and then you're so proud of it, because that's the other thing, when you've got over that stage and you're like creating and your own little bubble and it's all going well and the sparks and pixie dust flying everywhere, then by the end you're so proud of what you've made, because you're like, oh my god, this has come from nothing to this fabulous creation. Or sometimes something what you think you could improve on, of course, because nothing is always going to be perfect, because that is how things go, isn't it? There's always something you think, oh, I can improve, but sometimes that is just how it rolls, and you just have to go with it, and whatever you achieve at the end is going to be amazing. So sometimes you just have to take the leap of faith and just go with it, really, is my advice. And just, if something goes wrong, then just work with it rather than panic, think, oh, this is not meant to happen, because it might be a happy little accident, you never know. And I find sometimes the more you try and think about something, it just doesn't happen. Sometimes you just need to start off doing it and then work out the issues as you're going along. Because with a sculpture, for example, if you're, of course you do a rough outline of how you want the sculpture to look and stuff like that, but sometimes when you're building something, it doesn't quite go the shape you want it, so you have to mould it slightly different, or add more to it, or develop it differently, or you see an obstacle that you have to overcome, of course, because that is just how art is, and that is how things are made. And that's it, really. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Do give it a thumbs up if you do, and subscribe to my channel to be notified of all the fabulous stuff I do. If you do like these our two videos, then do give it a thumbs up, and see you guys later.